Hey everybody, welcome. It's a new week here on Going Optimal. We're going to kick it off with a premiere draft of Kaldheim per chat voting. Well, I let them decide best of one, best of three, but I'm still on the Kaldheim to start train here. We might do Theros Beyond Death if we finish this one up early for some reason. Hopefully because our Boros aggro deck goes 7-0 so quickly we have a lot of extra time, right? That's the plan. In any case, we'll see what we have time for today, but I have liked dipping back into Theros a little bit. It's been a fun set to revisit. Maybe not for a ton of drafts, but it's been fun. I do like that format, and I'm still trying to figure this format out. Had a much better week last week than the week prior, and I'm going to try to say it out loud here and recommit to handling this week like an adult, however it brings itself to me, in terms of results. I didn't like how I handled myself in the throes of a bad week, and I'm just trying to remind myself that I could have another one here, and we are going to consider it a happy problem if I'm losing a game of Magic. So if you want to solve your happy problem of, say, your commander deck having 5 different options for that final slot that you want to fill, well, why don't you get all 5 from my sponsor Card Kingdom, and then you can swap them in and out from session to session. You can get some options. I like having that. Some little toolbox for your commander session. I like doing that with a lot of my commander decks, or like the couple commander decks I have. Just swap every session, make some swaps so that you're always keeping it fresh. They're going to help you at Card Kingdom, and if you want to get there via my affiliate link in the chat link in the chat, the notes on the YouTube video, and in the panels down below, that lets Card Kingdom know you got there from here, and then they attribute that business to me, and they're like, yeah, we like Ryan, we're going to keep making him talk about us to the people who like his content. And capitalism keeps the world spinning. I think that's what it is, right? It's not Earth's momentum, it's capitalism. All right, thanks. We're going to keep buying in with gems until we've hit about 25,000 gold on this account. So I'm going to do that and get into the draft view. You got to figure out. So it's on. Yeah, whatever. All right. Resplendent Marshal. 3/3 flyer for 3 is already solid, and it has this ability that sometimes I see happen. For a mythic, this feels like a rare, to be honest. I'm really surprised that this is a mythic. I don't know. I guess if you really build around it, it's doing some powerful stuff, but you could have pulled this off at rare, I think. We could still take it. It's good. There's bound in gold. For removal, Frostpire Arcanist, it can be 2 for 1-y, Shimmerdrift Veil, one of the top commons, if not one of the top, the top common. Yeah, I don't think we don't need to take this. I mean, if you are collection building, taking a mythic is fine. I like Bergie. Outrider is an interesting place to start. Yeah, the double white makes it so you're not often doing this. I'm going to start on the Veil. Outrider or Bergie, totally valid too. Here I'm going to take a Demon Bolt, though. Furia, interesting. If I had started with the Angel Mythic, we'd easily slot into the Furia from there, but given that we did start with a Shimmerdrift Veil, I think I like the Demon Bolt over the Highland Forest or the Furia Hedge spec. Maybe we get an Invasion of the Giants on the wheel. It's not amazing. Sometimes this wheels, and if it, take a red card anyway. Raven's Warning. We always want this to be better than it is. It's all right, but whatever. We've got a Doomscar Titan, which is on the aggro side of things, but certainly matches our Bolt, and I don't see much else better than that. We've got the Horizon Seeker, which I like a lot. It fixes mightily for the heavy, the greedy mana green decks, but this is just fine. Good enough. Thank you for this sub. Doomscar Titan is a giant berserker. We've got a Burgie here, and we've got a fine start towards giants with these opening picks. And this pick is the only other pick catching my eye, really, with given where he started, and the snow-covered forest, of course. But I like Burgie here. Usher of the Fallen would have continued to pay us for taking that Angel first pick if we had gone that direction. I'm not unhappy with where we're at, but this is a less exciting pack, and certainly shows that the white is kind of open here. I don't love the Cleric, but I guess this is the problem with white. All of the commons are kind of medium. But we should take Usher. Yeah, we could still end up in something like Aggro Boros. It's certainly better than, I think, taking something like Depart just because we have a Bergstrider. And another Usher with Story Seeker and Oracle. Now can I get that Angel back, please? So we're going to take a second Usher and bank into making Doomscar Titan excellent with a bunch of fallen tokens, right? Seems good to me. We could take Mountain here on that tack. If not this, what? Bind for the possible giant deck? I think we'll just take the Mountain. It's the over nothing that is the big part of that choice. Here we have a Doomscar Oracle or just the Braggart. I'll take the Oracle. Yeah, I really like Slumbermound. I mean, Slumbermound is a good card in the format. It just didn't feel like we were really towards the green-red, but maybe that was a missed hedge. Frostbite. Fine pickup here. Robert had my friend Robert gave me a long explanation as to why I overvalue Frostbite. I suppose it's possible I overvalue Frostbite, but it's always a question of over what. And in the case here, this is over nothing. So of course we're taking the Frostbite, and I continue to maintain that, like, it's just my experience. My experience has been that there are plenty of 2 toughness creatures at common that you want to take out of the way for 1 mana. I don't know. I don't know. Am I overvaluing it? I guess so. Does it do a job? It sure does. Takes out things like Story Seekers and Dwarven Reinforcements. I'm not sure which one we want, though. Titan likes the go wide. Yeah, Seeker is cheaper and gets down on 2 and is not fake get down on 2, right? That's fine. Braggart here is a nice pickup. We could hedge towards the Cairn if Berserkers, but white was what we saw open, so let's just take the Braggart. Another Oracle. Yeah, let's get Burgie out of here. Not playing, and I guess I take a Vault Robber in case we're desperate, but really Vault Progress is fair enough, but Spoils, maybe. Skull Raid. Last pick Skull Raid is something. Yeah, I put it in the board because we are hope to not play it here, but we might. Boy, do I want that Angel back. Can I have that? You can have a Shimmerdrift Veil. Give me that Angel. I'll take the Angel. But yeah, Sigrid is awesome, and we're in a great lane. We pack 1, pick 1, pass the 1 white 3/3 Exile a creature, trigger Angel. That's very funny, Cervantes, who points out that Vault Robber just robbed us of Vault progress. Because I didn't like the double white and find that really the one white for a 3/3 flyer, that's what it is most of the time. I don't know. I've played it and played against it a couple of times now, and mostly it's behaved like a 3/3 flyer for 3 that's really difficult to cast, and just felt that the drift was the more open and still powerful pick. On that front, we could take another one here. But yeah, we have a Bound in Gold or a Cavalry as well. But we should take... yeah, I saw the Cavalry. Actually, I think if Bound in Gold wasn't here, would you take Cavalry over the Veil? I think that's an interesting pick. Also, splashing the Battle of Frost and Fire is somewhat interesting. So yeah, we're going to take Bound in Gold. And it has proven itself in this format despite its general concerns as aura removal because of a couple things. Even though it's aura removal, it does take a blocker out of the way for aggro, and it is enchant permanent, so it really stops a lot of pesky things in the format. And also, yeah, I've said this before, but the drawback of Bound in Gold, which is that, they'll eventually find their Naturalize and unlock it, or they'll sack it for value or whatever. The aggro deck makes better use of Bound in Gold because it really doesn't give the opponent as much time to do that. Here we're going to take a Dwarven Hammer pretty easily, I think, over... I mean, there's some nice 2s here. I'd like a Cavalry on the wheel, or a Raid. I'll take a Raider on the wheel as a... Surely we get this on the wheel at least, right? Oh, but we're gonna take the Hema. I got excited when I saw a red uncommon, but it's not really for us. Alpine Meadow, like Shimmerdrift Veil. I will play these, but how many? But the cost here is like literally nothing besides besides collection building. We could absolutely collection build here. And if you are again up against, if you really want to build your collection quickly, these are the types of spots where you can take a rare over something like this. But Meadow, in this deck, Meadow is just strictly better than Veil so far. Meadow strictly better than Veil. Another place where I can consider Frostbite versus Seeker, and here's where, if I'm overvaluing Frostbite, maybe I should take the Seeker and try and wheel that if we get it. But I do like having these two. If we're going to be aggressive with Boros, we really want to cast actual threats on turn 2. And we're low on that right now. I mean, we got Ushers which fit the bill too. Like maybe we even take a Longboat, given looks like maybe this lane is not showing up for us in pack 2, but we sent Angel, like we sent the Mythic Angel and then the uncommon Black-White Angel, pack 1 and pick 1 and pick 2. So it's possible we're getting a little pinched here. You think we're playing this in here? Yeah, I guess we have no tricks. That's true. If we don't end up with the tricks we want, we would run this. I sure hope. Like, we're not happy if we run this, though, right? Like, if we run this, I gotta feel like we are like, well, we missed on the tricks we wanted, right? All right, how about Helm versus Seeker? I really like the Helm, especially with the Usher. With double Usher, I think we need a Helm. Goldmaw Champ has been pretty underwhelming, but does do its thing at some point. You know, like I will run these in these types of decks, but they're not really a priority, and maybe just reinforcements is more important. Oh, well, I took that. I was looking at chat and got distracted. Well, too bad, because we have another champ here, so if I could split reinforcements and champ, that would be nice. Take Vault Progress over the Longboat, I guess. Although I'll take the Longboat again. We're not playing that land, so... Warhorn Blast could work in this deck, but I think we just want another 2 for now. If I can pick one of these up in pack 3, fine. But right now, I think we want to fill the 2s. I'm with you, Math. I would like one of these, but I still want to get more actual 2s. Not playing a Smashing Success, best of 1, so I'll Vault Progress. Yeah, I think I was going to say that, Fenor. I think pack 3 will be good for us. I think we got hurt by the white we passed in pack 1 there in pack 2, but I expect pack 3 should be good for us if we have good cards in the early picks here. This is medium. There's a Courser. What are we doing with that? We get cheaper Bound in Gold, cheaper Dwarven Hammer. That's about it for cost reduction. It's a 2/2 flyer for 3. I think I'm going to take the Courser. We don't have one yet, and the table has been wheeling us these Seekers. So I'm going to take that. I'm with you, Scott. My prediction is wheel, but we'll see. Maybe I'm wrong on that. Those of you who did end up in Giants, there were some payoffs there. The blue wasn't really, like... It was hard. I was trying to be in Giants, but then I feel like the table really screamed at us to take the underdrafted white color. Yeah, true. We could take Cole. It's really hard to see these. I barely saw that, but it still might be Bolt. This might wheel. Gidanmore says can't count on it. All right, I'll take Cole. It's a close one, though. I think you could argue that the percent chance that it wheels plus the power of simply taking the Demon Bolt might mean that taking the Demon Bolt number 2 is correct there. I'm gonna happily pick up a pup here, though. Oh, sword. That's right. We can take sword, I guess. Yeah, that's true. Sword because we got Cole, and we're gonna wheel this anyway. Master Scald, we'll wheel all this. I don't care. We'll take a sword now. And a cavalry over a shield mate. Wheel this shield mate. Shield mate is nice, but not over cavalry, which I love. And Valkyrie I love as well. Grab one of these. Pretty late dual land, but not for us. I think we'll take another Raider and see if we need to play him. Cat's all right, but I want a straight 2 over the Guardian. All right, so what does our deck need most? Warhorn Blast, another weakish 2, or a Frostbite? Oh, we got to pick. Yeah, sorry, never mind. I didn't even see that. I think this is better than all these. Pick is ob when you see it, when you actually realize that it's there. And here we take a Warhorn Blast. And now we can get rid of this wings. And that Seeker did in fact wheel. Wow, Agar wheeled, but we'll take the reinforcements. And maybe, I don't know, this is, if there's a deck for it, it's this one. And the shield mate came back. So the deck came together on 2s. I actually like this deck. And we can even play this Guardian if we want. Are we doing it? Are we actually playing this Saga? Hammer? No. Math? Yes. I'll start with that. Saga? I know we haven't even seen the deck yet, but early poll, early poll. I'll take another Guardian in case we decide to run it. Yeah, I think we're going to need to be making cuts from this deck. Let's go top creature. Let's cut a land. We got 4 equips. Funny. Tide. Yeah, we're not going to play the Guardian. What are we on? Creatures. 1810 here. With this as a quasi. Playing our removal. If we're playing the Saga, which we... I don't know. Maybe we'll play around with that Saga plan. I do like a Warhorn Blast with a double Usher. I don't know if we want to cut any of our 2s. I don't think we're going to cut a sword, even though I'm with you. I find this a little underwhelming, but the 2 power is real. So if you have to go 2 mana, equip 3, it's not the end of the world. And obviously, if you can make an angel, it's incredible. And what specifically is making people so excited about this Saga plus the sword? Just because the treasure helps you make the angel? That's fair, I guess. Yeah, that's true. Effectively, people are saying if we play this on 3 with the treasure, if you just invest the whole card in this, it's basically a huge angel on an installment plan, on a timer, right? Yeah, that makes sense to me. Play this on 3, and I don't love playing this on 3 in an aggro deck because you're not affecting the board immediately, but it sets up for seriously affecting the board on 5, right? Yeah, Champ is definitely meh, but is it more or less meh than Oracle? I think I cut 1 Oracle before I cut my 1 Champ. Yeah, that's, I mean, backup plan of getting the hammer seems fine, right? So let me get out of your way. I'm in draft view and I should be up here. Closing in on the bottom of deck building, 1710. But see, something's got to give too. So what's going to give? I think we give up the Warhorn Blast. 17, yeah, I could give up a Raider. 16-9. And then we're just 1 cut away. Maybe reinforcements. I mean, you're cutting Bite outright. I'm going to stick to my guns and at least run the. I think the first Frostbite is fine, especially in aggro again, where I'm trying to on turn 4, I cast a Courser and a Frostbite to clear a blocker. I just think that happens enough that this has value. I get that I was overvaluing it, but I refuse to value it at nothing. So let's see, what are some final candidates? 16-9. I think I like reinforcements better than champ. Yeah. And if I'm going to spend 2 mana on a boast, I think Braggart is going to be happier for us at a top end than champ anyway. So yeah, maybe it's one of these two. Media says Braggart is worse than champ. Interesting. Well, let me cut one of those two and I'll leave this one to chat. I'm just going to go, so let's get on with it here. Quick 20-second poll. We're at 41, so we need to make a cut. This is to cut. In fact, I'm going to make one of the voting options cut, just to remind you. Cut. Oracle. You want? I'll put. I want to try the Saga. I'm not going to cut the Saga. So your choices are Oracle, Braggart, and I'm going to do that. Those are your choices. I'm on it, David. Not on stream. I don't have any plans to play Vintage Cube on stream. I have never streamed Magic the Gathering online. Not once. Well, that's a lie. I think I have streamed myself opening it, but I have not streamed myself playing on it. I already did, though. You were prepaid for that one. All right, we'll cut the Oracle and get on with the show. Except I meant to put in champ. Oops. I'm going to cut champ instead of Oracle because that's what I meant. And if you think champ is better than Oracle, let me know in chat. I'm still going with my cut. I'm just curious if you're like, no, I really wanted to cut Oracle. I think that was absolutely correct. What I meant though was champ versus Braggart, and I kind of like the Braggart as a little extra top end. I like that this can foretell, I guess. And it does have 3 power, but I don't know. They're both super weak in my opinion for this particular deck, and I don't know. Maybe I should find even like a Warhorn, maybe Warhorn Blast. But this Oracle, we'll ask ourselves what we wish this was, because this Oracle Braggart is kind of our last type of cut here. So anyway, yeah, we didn't get a spirit. That would have been nice. Let's get going. We got land redemptions though. Got to respect that. $13, $14, $15, $16. Do we want both of these? Nobody thinks this Saga is incredible, but the reason we want to play it and the reason we're trying it is that our plan A with the Saga is play the Forging of the Tyrite Sword, and then on chapter 3 effectively play a 5/6. So it amounts to a 3 mana 5/6. Well, 8 mana as it was put out, right? Like you got to pay the 3 and then you dump it all into this or whatever. But 3 and then the 5 land. So 8 mana installment plan is what we want to try with that. But yeah, I think we can cut Veil and add back in Plains. Yeah, like that. And even then we're saying it's fine. We're going to try it. Nobody's like, we finally have it. Forging the Tyrite Sword is an A in your deck, Ryan, but we're like, okay, it's playable. You know what? It's got a good plan A, or a justifiable plan A, and the plan B of grabbing a hammer is fine as well. So it's playable. I'm not excited, though. I'm excited to test, and I'm excited to... What are we excited to do? Seek the Fallen. Desperately seeking. We gotta seek something. Seeking. We got 3 seekers. Yeah, we'll seek the sword. I like that. Because that's why we're running this, and we got trips. So we'll even throw our sword as the box art. Is anything else? That's good. Let's go. What do you think? How much are we winning with this one? Did Ryan leave any memes on? Let's find out. No. Well, this is not a mulligan, but it's a little disappointing to not currently have anything to do except on 3 unless we frostbite something. And there are enough 1-drops that I like. If they play an Usher of their own, I'll pick it off. So I'm going to go ahead and drop a mountain here. But we sure would love to see a 2-drop if they don't, even if whether or not they do play something to hit with the frostbite. Yeah, no 2. That kind of stinks. Not what this aggro deck with many 1s and 2s wants to be doing, but not a mulligan either. Oh, sword, where were you? I would have played that on 2 if it had shown up. Are we going to do a no-value Sigrid? Flash first strike. I don't know. I really want to use this as removal, though, right? Ugh. So I could just play the sword this turn, for example, and it leaves up the bite. Well, we can't decide EOT unless if we want to cast the sword now. Tron says, wait, we're under no pressure. But waiting on Sigrid means casting sword. I'm going to do that. Hopefully they play something to pick off with the frostbite, but if not, that's why frostbite's not great in the format, right? There's a lot of things that can come out here that this can't get, but I do think there are enough targets that you're not running them. I just need to tweak where I'm taking them. Packmate called. So this is interesting. We could Demon Bolt, but we're just going to go ahead and play the land and pass and try to Sigrid for value. I mean, what else are you going to do? The trouble with Sigrid here on Packmate is that while we may get the, quote, value of getting the Packmate out, if they kill Sigrid, they get a card. That being said, I think you got to try. Math says no, you don't want to Sigrid it because you don't want it to die. I mean, what are we doing then? You just want to bolt it now? I suppose we could do that. I'm also trying to get Sigrid on board and get going because we could put the sword on it. Yeah, how about that? Yeah, interesting. Just kill it. Make use of the frostbite. I like it. Mike's plan sounds good, so we'll do that. Is it a May? Up to. Yeah, it's up to. Interesting spot, though. It's a reminder that that these are not, that this type of temporary removal is not just a no-brainer, you know? You got, like, there's real costs to letting ETB creatures come back to the battlefield. Maybe I probably should have frostbitten before blocking, because if they had something to stop the frostbite, I would not want to put Sigurd in front of the wolf. So I think I missequenced that. If I could do it over again, I'd frostbite then block. True calls that out, yeah. Well, it looks like I compounded. I made a mistake and then made a mistake with my mistaken line, but we'll see here. That was painful to lose our... So now we're kind of in the worst case scenario with forging, where we have our best and our second best equipment are already spoken for, so it's not going to get us much, but it does get us a pick. Yes, it still gets us a card. We don't want to use... Kind of want to go forging and then just foretell the bolt. But I'm going to start with an attack. They might not block. Oh, Vandal's a god, of course. Thank you. Yep. This card has rules text. Protection from God doesn't come up too much, but with Changeling, more often than you'd think. Treasure will help cast Hammer, but even one treasure will help do that, so I was fine using the treasure immediately to foretell. Max the mana that way. And now we have Seeker plus Bolt. Probably want to save Bolt for blocking. I'm just going to play Seeker and pass here. All right, so this time I'm going to do what I said. Like, I want to try the bolt, see if they do if they counter, stop it, or whatever. If this takes damage, then I'll block. Yeah, I guess we could have made Hammer instead. But there, see, I saved our Hammer.
To the extreme, I rock a mic like a vandal, light up a stage and wax a chump like a candle. Dance!
So, we can bind the troll and just get in with the Sigrid, or we can hammer it up now. Yeah, we hammer it up and then bind the troll next turn, right? A lot of gods over there. The Ice High Troll, not one. We're gonna bind that. Oh, Boo Werns. Drat. That's a huge problem now. That I was counting on that. Man, they must have just drawn that, given that I did a million things into Snakeskin. So now what? Now play Cavalry and find Flyer? Yeah, hammer the Sigrid, I guess, but they just make it indestructible, and then they can pump it, and then the first strike doesn't do anything, and then Sigrid dies? They can't attack with Troll, but that's because by not attacking with the Troll, we can't attack. Need a flyer to throw the hammer on, then we can get back in biz. No, we had some early impacts, but it was never around late for kind of the where you want to pick it. Speaking of picks, well, does this do anything? Not without flying. Again, I mean, we're just kind of stuck without flying. We can throw this on something, but I mean, what does it matter? Yeah, we can swing for 6 trample. Do we like we want to throw away a 2/1 for 6 damage right here? Yeah, Tapper would be better than Doomscar Oracle in terms of asking ourselves that question. What was the other stuff we were considering? The Axgar, the Braggart. Yeah, I guess we should suit up the Lifelinker at the very least, right? Or Sigrid. I guess I'm going to suit up Sigrid. Big first strike seems correct. Did we end up with another bound in gold? No, we've only got the one bound. Wow, we are just... like, we only have 2 plans right now, and that is, well, 3. Cole, the Forge Master, somehow creating a situation where we get enough damage through suiciding into the Icehide Troll that we're actually ahead on damage, or we get wide enough where Doomscar Titan one-shots them, or we get flyers. So it's flyer, go wide, or Cole is basically our only answers. But good to have a plan. We know what we're looking for. So right now we're just trying to hold till we can execute one of those plans. Yeah, we've lost some big value on these Vandals, huh? Sword and replacement equip both gone. Yeah, so Cole is probably our best out because of the Sigrid interaction. Here's the Oracle that was our final include. And yeah, I would say right now our winner for final slot in this board is certainly the Champ that could tap the Troll for successful attacks. So maybe if one blocker can shut down, one tough blocker can shut down this entire ground attack, maybe this is not the right include. Can also, it's not doing anything here. I guess I'm going to wait. It's not attacking on the ground, so I'm going to wait. And we might even get a second spell to cast with it. I'm going to wait. And yeah, we can equip Pick. And I guess I throw that on Sigrid too. And yeah, we can foretell this. Good call. That's the power of the mechanic, right? I've heard that. I kind of forgot it had foretell for a second. It seems fine if you're trying to make the game go long, but this deck doesn't really care about our life total as much, so we have a foretell 3/2, which is, you know, just okay. Yeah, maybe we should swap that out. I'm kind of talking myself out of the Oracle here. Yeah, also let's keep in mind we kept a hand with an aggressive deck with several ones or a couple several ones, 3 ones and many twos, and we didn't do anything until turn 3, and that's going to be very costly for an aggro deck, and it has been. Champ is definitely more on plan in terms of its activated ability. One of the reasons I did play the Oracle is that I felt the 3 power was more on plan for the aggressive approach, but it's not enough more on plan to make it correct, I don't think. This is what we were asking for, though. This is a chance. With our equipment, we can get 1 point of toughness on it, though, so they really can eventually just block with the Mistwalker. But yeah, we'll play Oracle, Valk, Cav, and suit up. Troll's a huge pain, right? Man. Oh, we don't have any dead stuff yet. Funny. Or at least not. Yeah, so I guess just gotta do this. We are going to move the pick, though. It's basically free, right? No, we don't have answers to the troll. That's why we've narrowed our outs to such few. We have nothing that removes this troll. Yeah, now the Valk was part of the plan, but right now they have Mistwalker pump block that takes away our only flyer. So we really want Cole or more flying. Best of ones here, yeah? Doomscar is the go wide that I was talking about. Is that enough? Math. Nothing. This has trample, so we're going to get 6 trample. You like foretell, move, hammer, swing? Do you want to trade now for the Mistwalker or set up for next turn? All right, well, let's definitely foretell then for next turn. That's my only question, is whether we're trying to trade for this now or wait until we have the Doomscar extras. Okay, so we swing now to go ahead and get that extra trample in, and then next turn, hopefully Doomscar helps finish off. We don't... One note is, though, that if we give up the hammer, we put the hammer on Valk and it dies, we don't get to re-equip the hammer next turn. Yeah, I don't think you all are thinking about that. I'm going to say no. I mean, I could move the hammer now, but I don't want to attack or else we don't get everything we're looking for. So I'm going to move the hammer, but not attack yet. I'm not going to count on top decking a land. I mean, yeah. And it's 3 to equip. Would that have even worked? Because we get 5 for this and then a treasure. That wouldn't even have worked. I don't know. I think holding here is correct, and I think their attack is super interesting. It makes me think we're about to get... Like, what is this? What is this attack? What am I playing around? I gotta say no blocks. Mammoth Growth doesn't kill us, though, right? 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Kaya is lethal. Onslaught is lethal, right? So I guess I should give up one of these. Yeah, protection from gods, but then 6, 12, that's still lethal through one block. We gotta like go here and like here. Sorry, I was at 0 hourglasses, gang. I had to make a block. This was better than no block. All right, I'm not sure what they were up to there, but that's huge for us, right? Can't get both of these, unfortunately, but we'll take the Doomscar and swing. Well, we'll see. Now I'm going to say that math is for blockers here. Yeah, I can play Secret Post if we get treasure, if there is a post. I think it's probably the double strike. I think people had the correct read there. And, right, that's a foretell spell, and then it just wasn't lethal, so they didn't fire it off. Or not? I don't know what's going on then. I guess we'll find out, because they at the end of the game, they got to show us. Oh, I tried. Is there a way to see? Oh, well. I clicked through instead of clicking the thing, so we're going to be left to wonder. Yeah, I'm going to change the Oracle out. I don't think it's the right fit. Definitely for Oracle, I still feel like the Braggart is not a bad side of beef for this deck. We don't have a ton of beef, and Braggart can become beefy. I know it's not amazing, but I think it's okay as a top end for this deck, but I don't like the Oracle, and I'm going to bring in one champ. Math likes adding both. You could convince me to add a second, but I don't think... I think I want first Braggart over second champ here. Yeah. I still want to run the saga a little bit. I'm gonna make this the one change. There's some good suggestions there and some totally reasonable potential tweaks that might be correct, but I feel like playing Magic the Gathering is also a form of correct that I'm going to embrace. Wish we had the draw or the play here with Cole into pick. Well, there's our replacement. Yikes! Oh, Usher, you're late. And where is my 2 damage now? Well, we're going to play Cole, though. Ah! Usher! Wowie! At least we found our land, but what a conundrum. Courser here, and then we can set up picking and ushers and stuff next turn. Hammer even, maybe. Yeah, we've had a nice start, but if we can't interact with this, we're just doomed. Yeah. Okay, wow, that's great use of that token, too. Love it, Oppo. Tight-looking elf deck here. Oh well, so much for... Now I'm going to draw my Frostbite. Well, there's the Snow Mountain. Do we even need Snow Mountains? I don't know if they do anything for us. The Frostbite's never getting there. So this is just a liability unless we want to threaten snow effects that we don't actually have. Yeah, let's go hammer and suit up, and then we can have some blocks on the Pretender. Except they're going to play something that's going to get even bigger. What a nightmare. Could also play the sword for or the saga for 2 and like usher and pick. Or yeah, we can go forging, pick, equip. Pick, equip, swing in the air, champ. Yeah, let's at least pick and equip to courser and swing, right? Let's do that. That seems good. I like that. And now I kind of like usher forging. You like usher pick onto usher? Why not get this going? If we put pick on usher, what are we blocking? Are we threatening to block the War Master? I mean, I double block Cole, and they're never sending the War Master in. Yeah, that's true. With Cole, we can chump, and that's fine, right? We don't mind that. I'm not getting into my Cole mindset properly here. So, okay, given that, I'm willing to do the leave the treasure and block with Usher. That's true. I could have treasured, and we could have done the saga and be completely out of treasure, but I think this is fine. Wow, interesting double attack. The Glade Walker teasing Cole, but never going to happen. Oops. Sorry, I meant to... That was just a misclick. I thought I was clicking to go to blockers. Instead, I was clicking to pass through blockers. Tough. Guess we go... Let's start with hammer. I guess we want hammer and champ. Or I guess hammer and forging is all we can do anyway. I'm going to stay back here. We just need to be back on D now. Feels like we've lost this, but we'll make some blocks and see what happens. I don't want to attack with anything. We're you know, for better or for worse, with my non-block last turn, we're at 5. I don't see how we send anything. I guess if he gets his extra blockers, it's the same diff, and I didn't think it through that way, but I was just in pure defensive mindset here. Wasn't even thinking about attacking. Yeah, we're pretty dead. Yeah, obviously they have a pump spell, but we can't... I'm going to play like they don't have it, and we're going to do block like this. Well, it's interesting that they chose to reset their Pretender. But I still think we're just toast. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 attackers, 3 life. We come up with a couple blockers, and we're pretty dead. I mean, we're done. Good Elves deck. If we'd had... I want to point out, if we had the much maligned Frostbite in opener, we probably just win that game. We just lost to 1 card there. Pretender maybe gets problematic for us, but I think we would have the beef to tangle with a Pretender that wasn't getting big off of elf tokens, right?
Is this a dead man, Doctor? Very dead, Mr. Spock.
But rating where they got really wide because of that 1 card. That's my... whatever. Surely without the Elf Lord, we have a much better chance that game. I don't think that's a very controversial thing to say. Well, you're not the only one, Robert, so it is much maligned. Relative, by maligned, I mean downgraded quite far relative to where you would expect a format to have a shock. I'm gonna go ahead and offer, because if they take it, fine. If they block, we trade off for the Sculptor, and we have the Valkyrie in hand. So definitely like an attack here. My only question is, do we Seeker or Usher if they don't block? I mean, to say it does, all right, all right. Usher for the 1/1 while we can. Seeker for the thing that can actually attack into a Sculptor. The trouble is I want to predict a little bit ahead though, Mike, because yes, Seeker can attack on this board, but can Seeker attack on a board that's had 4 mana on turn 3? Probably not. I'm going to take the freebie. I'm not sure. Not sure, really not sure there. But you know what, also, if we're going to do that, zero is less than 1. That's the number of cards I spent if we're going to throw out formulas, Prof. We could boast again here, but I don't think if we boast, we're really not using our mana wisely. We can send. I'm going to send the Usher, but I don't think we're boasting. We could cast Seeker. Is your idea there that if we cast Seeker, we're intending to block their Seeker? I would rather play Courser. And then next turn we can play the Saga and a Seeker. And, you know, when we're aggressive, I think we're all pretty attuned to fearing the Seeker getting in for value and finding that land, and if it just feels like such great value, right? And it is. But we're aggressive. Like, if they want to spend this mana on this turn to find a land for their hand, I think that's actually quite good for us, and we say no blocks. This card is just much better against another go-long deck where you're racing your opponent to the go-long conditions. Here, I don't mind them getting an extra spell if it's 2 mana to play a land. But what do they have behind? Yeah, is they going to foretell here? What do they got? No. Troll? What do we got? Thought Thief. Now they're going to block Thought Thief. They're going to Thought Thief block Usher, and we get Valk Sword. Or Valk Usher token. Can also just attack and let them eat the 1/1 if they want. I kind of like starting there. I'm going to send in. All right, they want that. That's fine with me. I like the 2 damage. And they're not even giving us the Valkyrie without the block. So I like Seeker. Or do we want Seeker Forging? Or yeah, Boast Seeker. Let's Boast Seeker. I think I like... You want to get the Saga going? That's true. We get this going, we get the Angel soon enough. But this is attack... I'm going to play Seeker, because I wouldn't mind a block now. With the Valk, I do kind of want to trade off a Seeker. Seeker Saga might have been correct, but also it's hard to pass up the value of Usher while you have it. Again, while, you know, all right, like, value town, but it's a bit wheel spinny, so hopefully we can overcome it with aggro. All right, they're going with that line. Now, if we swing in on the ground, we almost certainly give up something to the Yeti, but we can follow with the Valk. Why do you want Saga first? What does that even do? We just get treasure. Oh, because we don't want to trade this off? You think they'll trade there? Maybe so. Yeah, that's fair. I see what you're saying now, at least. Yeah, okay, in case they do that, we'll play the Saga. And so question 2 is, are we giving it up to the Yeti? We don't really need to. I don't think we're getting enough value on the ground to send into the Yeti, so let's just send the Courser, see what they want to do. Yeah. Looks like chat agrees on this one. All right, we actually get a discount. Yeah, shield maybe over a Seeker. Our life total isn't the issue here. Why do we need to save the treasure? What are we saving the treasure for? Angel? We'll get there, right? We'll get there. I just figure we'll get there, but maybe we won't. Got 2 draws for land. I guess also, like, if we don't get there, it means we've drawn action. So, okay. I'll take action, or we'll get there. I think we can keep it for now. I don't know what we're doing with it yet. Funny. Sword, you're early. Play a Seeker. Yeah, I guess we could do this, but then we're passing up on the Angel. But we get in with the Valk, so... All right, let's do that. I think this is the more aggressive line. Yeah, I mean, show me the sword on top, and I wish I have the treasure, but I'm okay with the line I took. I was at least trying to max my mana, you know. I had a plan. You say it's a waste, but they're at 10 life, and we're about to get another piece of equipment. So I really just like piling on the damage right now. So if you're saying waste, you're just on a different line than me, I guess. You want to try to get all the value you can to try and go long this game, whereas I'm just trying to end it. Sword for sure next turn. How? If we don't draw a land, we're not getting treasure, and then we have 6. Maybe I'm missing something? Certainly happens a lot. All right, hammer. Equip hammer puts 5 up there and puts them on a 2-turn clock. Kind of just like saying, they haven't answered it now. So let's go hammer, equip hammer, 2-turn clock. You like hammer make token? Nah. I got my plan, I'm sticking with it. They haven't answered this bird yet. Why not give them one more turn to figure it out? I think they're top decking to an answer to a Valk. Land, they're still dead. Do we need to block here? No. It does make us have to re-equip. All right, but now we can bolt. Well, let's see. So they have 3 on the ground. No, we don't. Do we? Wait, 5. We do have enough to equip. I'm sorry, I was thinking they were 3. No, they are. They're both 3 equipped. That's what I thought. They're both 3 equip. So we don't have the equip, but we can equip 1. If we equip the hammer to the air, we get 1. I think they're dead, right? Because we put the hammer on the bird for 4 guaranteed. They can avalanche. No, they can get 4 blockers on the ground. So they're not dead on. They're not dead with the current setup. So we're just going to hammer the Raven. And they get 1 extra turn. Sigurd a blocker, like, I think this is, no, they're not dead if we swing all those, not by my math. But they can make a land blocker. This doesn't require tapping. They can make 4 blockers. They're going for a big attack. We're going to block, 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 and crack back with a 4-1. That's the plan. So we'll go Seeker here. Seeker here, Chumper here, Chumper here, and I can put the Usher on the Yeti as well, I suppose, but we can, I like leaving a... Yeah, all right. We found that to be good enough. Seekers on Yeti would be another line. Yeah, it's one of those spots where I'm like, how much thought do I put into a block that I don't think matters? Yeah, with 1 white up, we just needed to play around the double strike, basically, right? And if they didn't even have anything, then it's not even that if they didn't have it already foretold. Yeah, so I guess they didn't even have that. I'm going to say the Saga didn't suck in that game. It wasn't incredible. I believe it is merely playable in our deck. I am not going to sit here and tell you that that Saga is good, but I do believe it is actively playable in this deck. It's just going to have some, like, it was a good showing for it this game, but it's going to have some terrible ones too. It's going to be swingy that way. Also, I could have played it better, right? I think if I played this better, it would have been better. Like this a lot. We get Seeker into Sword, into potentially Valkyrie, Demon Bolt. You know, if the Seeker dies, we get to Valkyrie and foretell a Bolt. Right on, Rob. Good thing to be afraid of how your body is going to react to your COVID-19 vaccination is, like, I think the best fear feeling you could have in 2021. Gonna go with the lifelinker over the foretell here, which was a new option we drew. But I want this to potentially die for the Valk, so we definitely want to play actual creature here for that reason. And that's unfortunate. But I think I still trade for that. We're going to go ahead and Seeker, and they're going to trade off, and that's fine. But it does set up the Valkyrie play that I like. You like hold for blocking? I mean, what's the diff? If they don't block here, I'm okay with that. I'm gonna go out attacking, not blocking. So, will the sword be good here? Because part of its justification was, hey, turn 3 sword into turn 5 big angel is big game, right? So we need a couple things to happen, though. We need this to live until turn 5, and yeah, there we go. We need a 5th land, which we didn't have, but now we have it. So we do have a pretty big game next turn if we save this treasure. And with the Dead Seeker, we do get to go ahead and Valk for cheap. And you know, we could even just reinforcements no foretell threatening to block Seeker. I kind of like that. Yeah, let's just make some dwarves. Make them send that Seeker into our dwarves if they want to do the thing. Do we want to offer our tokens? Are we trying to go wide? We do have a Doomscar Titan that rewards us for some go wide. Do we want the ground clear to get in bigger blockers? Do they want the ground clear to get in their bigger blockers? Generally, I'm inclined to trade. Seems like Chad agrees. Yeah. Let's go ahead and try to keep things. Also, keeps things simple. I like a default of trade because it keeps the board clearer. Willing to trade to ease the burden of the cognitive demands of Magic. Well, I said some things had to happen, and that's what... Man, Vandal's really gotten us today. Kind of sucks. Kind of sucks. 7 mana, though, doesn't, and we can go Courser, Valkyrie, Foretell Bolt. I like that. Maybe you don't even need to Foretell Bolt. I mean, we're using Treasure to do it. Why bother? I get into a max your mana mindset, but when it comes to treasure, you don't have to max your mana. You want to max your lands, but you don't necessarily need to max your treasure each turn. In fact, if I hadn't last game, I might have had that angel, right? Yeah, Vandal gets something, right? Sometimes it doesn't get the best thing, although obviously we also don't know how many times Vandal has been stuck in our opponent's hand as they hope and pray for something to take out with it. This is nerve-wracking. We have an air advantage right now, but double foretell with 3 other cards in hand is certainly makes me nervous under the collar. A little Rodney Dangerfield. Hello. And we don't have anything, we're not looting, so I'm going to play lands. We're not playing holding lands for that. But no problem. 3 more attacks in the air with our 5 powers of flying, and we got this. I'm sure nothing will change at... What? Oh, hey, this is actually good for us, though. I'll take that action back. I was going to go ahead and bind this, but we could also just Raider for no loot. We do have loot. Darn it. I totally forgot Raider. This thing, we don't have Rummage, but we absolutely do. Darn it. Anybody who remembered that, good on you. I forgot. So anyway, though, do we do we play the bound so they can't go nuts with the Firewalker? I think probably. Because if we didn't want to use it there, Rob, we would have paid it down. I mean, isn't that... It's pretty straightforward. We have a lot of mana, so Rob, maybe your argument is you didn't need to pay down the 2. You have plenty of mana. I guess that's an argument. But, you know, if we happened to cast the Demon Bolt. We didn't know we were going to. Let's start with an attack at the very least. You like saving bind for Lindy. I like bind. Yeah, it's too much advantage. I gotta bind it. I think that's way too good here. My question is, do we just play the Raider? Can't get through the pup, so no, I'm gonna save Raider to be a Rummage. I'm gonna save this to be a replace land card because it's not doing much as a 2/1. Silo says bring it in for no value, but I don't like it because it's legit no value with the pup, but... all this is fine. If our flyers survive and they don't have reach, we are fine. And there's our land to pitch. Let's get rid of that now, see what we find. Hopefully we usher in a new era of being 3-in-1. I'll play it though. Rune of Might, still not enough. We just need to keep him out of the air or off of reach. Yeah, all right. Sorry, I'll stop doing that because I don't have them volume adjusted yet. I'll annoy you with David Lee Roth when they're better volume adjusted. Just playing the raw download with no adjustments. All right, going first, Usher in hand, Cavalry second. So we're going to face that question again, most likely. We're going to keep. And Hodge was critical of our decision last time to go activate Usher on 2 instead of deploy 2-drop because we didn't end up deploying that 2-drop till much, much later. Of course, if we had dumped our hand, we would have looked like geniuses. It can be hard to tell. I think it still, of course, starts with an attack, though. So let's do that. I'll trade Usher for sure. And... you know what? Since we drew the planes and have the Sigrid, that's a reason to go with the... well, I don't know. You could make, again... I like Cavalry setting up Braggart, so I'm going to go ahead and make this trade. No boast, and play Cavalry because it really does set up an attacking Braggart on 4. We always use the mana. The question was on a card or on a token. And with that coming in tapped, I think we're in great shape. And what a great draw of the champ here, so we don't have to play Sigrid. Of course, no reason to make this hasty, since it's the same amount of damage. Question is, which one would we rather have dead to the deal 5? And it might be champ, so maybe I should have played champ on that, but... I'm not expecting haste from their deck, but sure, 2/3 does block better. Yes, there's it taps both, but then they could just choose, right? So may as well not give them a choice. All right, I like, wow, a couple choices here. Just send in and have Sigrid, or Braggart, haste Braggart, send in Champ and Braggart, and be fine with a trade of either. Could also Saga, how do we... Saga gets us... Yeah, Saga and tap. Okay, that's interesting too. Saga to tap is interesting. I'm kind of on Mike's line, though. I don't care if they trade for either of these, so I like... Yeah, I like the Mike's line of send both, see what they want to do. Braggart's a fine follow. Sigurd is not a great cavalry combo, though. How about Sword, Seeker? We could Hasty the Seeker, but it doesn't add extra damage here. So yeah, forget it. Let's just, well, we could Forge, Swing, and Boast. I like that. There is a reason to Sword, and I'm going to do it. Basically, we can decide here whether we want Seeker or a counter, but both of those are enough reason for me to run out the Sword and go. Question is, which one do we want to do? You think they're going to use a deal 5 here? Maybe. Maybe that's a reason to just fall back on the Seeker plan. Hey, look at that. Funny. So, can't do Sigurd next turn, but I do think we want Seeker now, and then we can set up for Sigurd next turn. Sigurd will be good if we can pull it off, and then, although it's protection from gods, so they can't really affect each other, right? There are ships in the night that way. Oh, Sigurd isn't a god. Sorry. I saw the legendary frame when it was like thinking... I was kind of conflating god and legend there. Funny. Cool. So we'll try that. They'll sniff something smelly here, but what are they going to do? Oh, and if I've said he... Yeah, clearly... That's a Viking presenting as a woman anyway. I'm going to save the planes, both because we're up against this Lantern and we have the Raider. Unfortunately, by pitching the land, we can't guarantee Angel next turn, but obviously I can't. I mean, I could take life, I guess. If we really wanted to guarantee Angel, I guess I could have done life there. Yeah, maybe so, Mike. That's what I'm reconsidering now, but I was too protective of my life total, yeah. Am I being... Now that's a little weird. I guess you could argue playing around deal 5, but that's weird, no attack. I'm still getting the sword, though. We're close enough. And we have Sigrid off of the treasure, if it matters here. Well, then I'm weird for not being as disciplined as you and Oppo are, G-Guards. I should have swung there. I'm trying to suggest that I don't have Sigrid, kind of. That was my thought of not attacking. Yeah, I lose 3 now. Because life is the cushion I should have been using. It was a mistake for me not to use life up to this point. I should be using life until we can't. Well, we didn't have to discard. I should have done life. I agree with D on that. That's what I'm saying. It's understandable that, you know, we have a mind. The heuristic that I used was when your oppo is forcing you to repeatedly discard things, lands are a great spare thing to be able to discard to that situation. So that was my default position that didn't work out for me there. All right, I give up now, though. We're going to start sending in. All right, let's see what they've got. Hey, Low Dash, thank you for that sub. Much appreciated. All right, I'm going to give this one up now. That was our chance. Too much of a blowout. Maybe we weren't at 0%, but we were close enough for me to want to move on to something more fun. All right, we can keep this. We've got a nice 1 Alpine Meadow, turn 2 Coal, turn 3 Foraging or Champ. Let's see if we can keep this coal alive. Get the Forge Master out. I don't think we do. I was saying I should probably just pull the Snow Mountain for a mountain because it's a liability. It doesn't do anything for us as a mountain. Frostbite has something to pick off here at least. We could even we could foretell the Doomscar and Frostbite, but I kind of just want to get the forging going. Yeah, Scotty, I do like the idea of go, 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 but getting the sword going. Yeah, if we want to use the treasure, we can Frostbite as well. That just takes us off of Angel on Final Chapter, but maybe we don't even care about that anyway. Yeah, I'm going to do it. Mike says keep the treasure. I'm gonna not. I'm gonna choose a line and go. Next turn, we can, especially if you draw a basic land, we can Goldmaw Foretell and then actually have Doomscar. Another. So we can't save him, but we'll decline to sack and try and make happiness anyway. There we go. Like that.
Behold! Behold! Whoa! Hell yes, whoa!
Yeah, let's hook up the pick and get more mana. I like that. Then we can still do the angel thing. Could also foretell the Doomscar. Right now, the angel's not guaranteed. We need another land. I guess we need to connect with the Forge Master again. I'll save it, though. Nice turn from Oppo. Clarion Spirit's a powerful magic card. Oh, that was not what I meant to do. Ob. Sorry, gang. Just a misclick. Wouldn't have happened in paper. But let's try to recover with what we're drawing here. Valk, still the line. Or do we want something cheaper now? I still think we can take Valk because we can go champ pick. Bummer, though. Sure meant to have Cole right now. On the flyer? On the Clarion Spirit. All right. Well, we're gonna have to bind up the spirit or something. Of course, they can move the pick off, but still, gotta do something. Or we can just make a massive angel, make them have something for that. That's the other choice here. Surely we'll at least just start by sending in here. I'm not gonna do any tapping. They can chump or not. Let's see how this angel does on D. I just feel like it's been set up long enough that I'm expecting them to have an answer for it in hand. We'll see. If they don't, we're in good shape. You wanted to hold the land now for discarding? Yeah, let us keep a treasure. This means we can Doomscar next turn without a land if we felt that was important. Really a bomb in the deck if you can get some consistent draw two going. And we have a situation where Bound in Gold not at its best in that we've got a couple of things here that are somewhat happy to stay on board through a binding. We can Doomscar here, though, and it sure puts them under a lot of pressure, right? That makes the champ trade for the spirit. Doomscar trades for everything. So I kind of like Doomscar go here and then see what they want to do after. And then we get Bound in Gold Helm for the turn after. That just feels like a lot of damage that they have to figure out for the next couple of turns. Let me give CBL focus. I gave it focus and it wigged out a little bit. Usually that means it was messed up and will probably be okay now. Double block Angel? What do you mean? Are we okay with that? Why do we care about... Anyway. I'm gonna do it. Come get some. Valor could get him out of it. They untap. If this is a spell and they find another one and 2 spell into some good action. But we're making them have it. And I could throw the helm out, but again, spending your treasure mana just doesn't matter unless you're trying to protect against discard, which I suppose we are, right? We don't want to lose the helm to Skull Raid, so I'll do it. But that's why it's not to use the mana; it's to avoid Skull Raid. Yeah, I'm okay with them drawing off Skull Raid if it gives us a helm to add to this attack. I mean, helm turns this back into something that can attack into their board. I think it's correct. There's risks. I'm not saying it's risk-free, but I like the play. And then we can tap stuff too. So this is all pretty good. Tap the flyer. We can bind and tap. Maybe so let's bind the recruiter, tap, and then we've got it, right? Bind, tap, equip, win. All right. Ah, yeah! I'll be David for now. Cool, made it to 4 wins. That's about what par was suggested, so nice. We'll see if we can march it up. Get to the magical 5-win count that gets us profit, right? 5-win profit at premier level. I know, right? We could have been a lot easier if we just had Cole around, but we got there. All your 80s icons being mimicked on Going Optimal. Nice keep here. Probably hold off on Cole and look to go Seeker into Valk if they kill it. Cole if they don't. Ooh, interesting. All right. I was going to go Meadow, of course, but we'll take the Usher now. Pup fully stops Usher in its tracks, but let's make him use Pup for that. And if we find some equipment with Cole, we have attacks in that spot anyway. They're going with that. Yeah, now we have tap land on 3 as our play, which was called out there by Mike. And we're basically taking a Fearless Pup hit next turn. There's not much we can do about it. So I'm going to attack with the Usher, play the Story Seeker this time, in part because I was not even sure we did the right thing the last time we did Usher activation over Seeker. But this time we're up against aggro and the lifelink is legit. And the other thing, Media would boast, I'm taking the Seeker for the lifelink angle. And for the fact that if they kill the Seeker to get through with the pup, of course they'll probably just equip because they don't need to kill it. They don't need to use spells on it. I mean, if they have the Frostbite though or whatever, they're going to do it. But Valkyrie makes me want to play the Seeker. I think this is okay for us. I mean, yeah, they get an they get a treasure out of it, but they spent their turn on it. Our Seeker is alive and active against aggro. We can connect for some life gain. Could even just start making tokens to block the pup. You know, just endlessly chump the Fearless Pup, but that's a little expensive. I think I want to keep adding, but certainly starting with the attack. Then we can discuss the tokens thing. So, benefit of coal is that if we find equipment, we're immediately just in business with coal. Drawback is we could just lose coal to removal before we've done anything. Well, token is not free. Nuke token costs us not deploying coal. Okay, so like, let's be accurate. If it was free, I would do it. If somebody wants to give me a literal free 1/1 token right now, I'll take it. There is a choice here. I still think the choice is token, but it is not free. And I don't want to, that's almost light hyperbole. Well, Media, talk to Haj, who was all over me about not deploying a Story Seeker that then sat in our hand for the rest of the game. That would have been way better to have than a random 1/1. We could have had a 2/2 lifelinker instead of a 1/1, and for most of the turns of the game, that would have been the case. Now, again, what do we want to do here? Do we want to... We could prevent extra mana. I don't really care about the 1 point. I could just let it all through. We could just take 5 and keep racing. That's the fundamental question. I don't think it's right to trade it for 3 damage. Is it right to trade it for a treasure token? Mike says yes. I'm a little torn. But yeah, 2 mana is a ton more than 1, right? That's why I'm even thinking about doing it at all. All right, Mike, I'll give you this line. Well, that's not great. But we can drop Braggart here and have some blocks. Stay back now. I'll throw Seeker in front of the Berserker for sure. If they send the pup, we'll let them have the pup, I think. We could also just put like everything on the pup and then trade the Braggart for it, although we'd effectively be trading Usher and Seeker for it. Or no, really Braggart and Seeker for it, and that's too much. Or Braggart and Usher, that's too much. Although now they can't pump, so we could block. Braggart Seeker trades Braggart. Yeah, you're right. We could have done it that way, which is probably why they didn't attack. Now what are we doing? 5 total mana. We can bind and coal or champ and coal. If we bind, we could also Braggart and bind. I kind of like, what if we bind the effigy and send in Braggart? Because then what do they have? They don't have blocks. I'm going to do that. It's aggressive, putting a binding gold on something as generally low impact as the effigy. This is very much about playing this board right here. But we are an aggressive deck trying to get this closer to end, closer to done. If we send all, we are just throwing one of these to its death in the Fearless Pup, and I don't like that. I'm just going to send the Braggart. This was also on our short list of final cuts. I kind of wanted to keep it just because I feel like it can get out of hand. It's not great, but when it's at its best, it can take over a game against the right opponents, and we'll see if Oppo is going to find that here. Not with that play. They could still 2-for-1 themselves with the Berserker Pup block. Now we have a Valkyrie plus Braggart activation. Yeah, this could be Bolt, but we're sure going to make him have it, right? Let's do that. Same attack, though. If they do have Bolt for Braggart, they're going to make us spend 2, but then we'll get a 2-mana discount on the Valk, so... Really? I kind of like Boast. Let him do it. Oh, really? You think take 4? I guess 4 damage could be the difference, though. Interesting spot. Mike really wants to play around Demon Bolt here. I'm not sure. Well, I don't... Talking about the clock changing is not really sensible when it's a bunch of ground pounders. We don't have any clean, clear attacks. I like looking at clock when you've got clear unblockables that Oppo can't deal with. We have no idea what the clock is right now. All right, fine, we'll do that. And well, should do it now though, right? All right, they didn't do it. They didn't have anything. And we'll do this. Small piece of equipment next turn would be nice because we could go Cole equip. I don't know. I mean, there's a lot of Foretell in the set. There's a lot of things this could be. I see Mike trying to narrow it down from, like, why foretell it at all if it were this, you know, easy play. Land, definitely not what we wanted to see. But we still have Braggart, Valkyrie attacks. The Pup still holding off the ground enough that I don't want to send in the 2. Right? So... just going to send in... they'll probably trade off their Berserkers now for the Braggart. I'm fine trading off Braggart here. But send in these. Eventually we're going to get a 2-for-1 off this Braggart. And Oppo's, the later they do it, is going to have more and more regret on wishing they had just done it earlier. I know what I've been. I know I've been there. So it looks like they're going for a chump. Could be bolt plus first strike, though. That's seeming more likely here, don't you think? Because that gets around, because even at 6, they get it. So probably finally going to bolt this thing. That's fine. Or not. Why would they chump with that? Interesting. Is this going to be dead somehow? I don't know. Maybe they're waiting until the end of the turn. Yeah, you're right, Mike. I don't know what I'm talking about. It doesn't. I'm trying to find something, but nothing's making much sense. I'm gonna do it all though here. Heuristics over thinking every last thing through, I guess. True. Certainly part of my win rate is lower on stream, where I just don't think through quite everything. Get into autopilot mode a bit. Oh, I didn't look again. I guess I'm not that curious. It was probably a blue card. Ooh, too bad we didn't get this on the play, but we'll take it. Usher into Shieldmate into potentially Courser or pick Equip. We'll see. Little red flooded here. All right, here we are again. Same old question. Although in this case, one toughness is the same. No lifelink. I'm just gonna create value for no cards. Another Usher, but we can pick, equip, and still Usher. Could also, yeah, also with our, look at all this white we have. We need to pick just to get some darn non-red sources going. I mean, we're going to use one right now. And do we want this on the 2/2 or a bigger Usher? Trouble is, Usher is a 3/2 is still imminently tradable with, I find. So I think I'm going to make our soldier a little better. So we've been dumping our hand. They've been setting up for scary. Who knows? Maybe we get Wrath here. I mean, this could all go poorly. Calamity Bearer. That's kind of rough. But can we just get aggro enough around it here? I think we can go send in, let them eat. They probably eat an Usher, in which case we can Valk Shieldmate. If we get a token, we could even potentially hammer. I think we at least have to swing all, though. I mean, this is where we just got to give up some cards for damage. You like Courser Shieldmate? What about Valkyrie Courser? I like Valk Courser. Let's get up in the air. I think flying is how we win this. 2-turn clock up in the air. Make him answer these right now. Calamity Bearer not good enough. It's got to stay back on D. So ask them the question in the air. Yep, can move pick to whatever lives. I'm assuming one of these probably dies. Elven Bow doesn't kill them, but it gives some blocking. But we can move the pick to the Courser, and then one of them trades and the other lives. We could, and then hammer after that. Yeah, the bow on the bearer could be some trouble, to the point that maybe we need again to just jam in here and give up the usher for some extra damage while they're, I mean, we just got to pile on the damage now, I think. And are they going to go after the Courser? They probably go after the Valkyrie if we don't re-equip. And then we get and they don't eat the token. Oh yeah, we could play the hammer, not make a token, and then re-equip. This as a 5. Yeah, this forces some blocks. Yeah, doesn't that? I gotta do this though. Running out of time. No hourglasses. So I'm not sure this is right, gang, but I also feel like we are out of hourglasses. So I'm going to do this. All right, well, at least that answers what we're doing here. I kind of like waiting now, because if the Elven Bow ends up on the bearer, we can still send the Valk. Then they just move it. And then I guess we have enough to pile onto the Courser to make him block too. So I'll send the Valk and force this trade. That was rough, though. A good card for them to have. Oh, I forgot the land, too. Land, big gain for Oppo. Those pesky lands, I'm remembering them more, but let me tell you, I'm still forgetting those lands all the time. Even when they're right there. And I got stuff falling on me and hurting me. Thanks, stuff. Well, we gotta take this. I mean, ouch, but gotta take it. And I'm going to equip. Send in, I guess. There's the double. I'm going to go shield mate, not token. Looks like couldn't do the token anyway because I didn't get the treasure till our treasure maker was already, or our token maker was already dead. They got another one of these lands too. Great. Yeah, this is all right. Wow. What do they have? They must have something for this. We're showing lethal on board, right? So I guess that's their plan. Yeah, it's enough of one. Can't quite do it all here, right? We've got this that doesn't make an angel. We've got hammer and pick that get to 6, but they block, and then we're dead to the crackback. But they do get, yeah, we can chump. We do get a chumper, so I guess that's our only hope. Well, yeah, that's true. I guess our hope now is that they don't see it. I mean, like, what else are we doing? I mean, the other thing we do is stay back and chump, but that's just asking to die. So even though, yeah, they've got the land, truly, I think our best out is Oppo missing it. Like, that's all we've got. We could put... Too bad we can't get more toughness on it. If we just get it to 3 toughness, it could live to chump, but I think we're going to come up just a touch short. Yeah, I guess we'll equip it, but I think they know what's up. Good job, Oppo. Too much. Could do the first, survive the first land, the second one, too much. But you can't take my profit from me. We made 5-3 today. That's pretty good. We'll be happy about that. 5-3, and I passed an on-color mythic pack 1, pick 1. Oh well. Maybe if we had taken that mythic, it all would have been better. Certainly would it, like, although we probably would have ended up white-black, because this pack 1, pick 2 had had Furia. So if we had started with the white angel, probably would have ended up, or at least started down that path. I don't know if we would have gotten off that train, but if I'd taken the angel, we would have started with Furia on 2. If we stay back, we're chumping and then making a, well, they use their land and then make a 1/1 and we chump with it. Boy, I mean, here's the deck. I don't think there was much there to help us if we chump instead of attack. Bound in Gold, did we use that yet? One big problem was that, you know, they could move the equipment around if we take care of the one problem. I thought it did reasonable work in this deck. Would it have been better if it were just simply another champ? I don't know. You know, it's always doing, it's doing stuff. So you feel like, okay, I'm getting value out of this. There's a treasure. There's a treasure. Here's some equip. It's not doing nothing. It's just doing it all a little bit slowly. And obviously it's only as good as the equipment in your deck. I don't think I would ever run it if I didn't have 2 solid pieces of equipment to go get. And hopefully more than that as backup. Because like we had a situation where we had sword and hammer already drawn. So forging was good, just getting us a pick. So it needed that tipping point of equipment quality. And it needed to be in this very specific type of build. But then I think it's playable. Did I think it was good? It was good enough to make the deck. I think it was better for this deck than another Raider would have been, and maybe narrowly over a champ. You know, it's interesting. Like for 3 mana, I could have had a simple champ or this saga. I think they're pretty close. No, you're not looking to pick this and build around it. You're looking to ask yourself when this comes around 12th, whether you have one of the narrow decks that can actually run it, right? We had such a deck, and we got to a decent number of wins on it. Although, here, see, this continues to be wrong. But whatever, I'll deal with that later. I'm gonna start, let's collect our treasure. Speaking of treasure, we're not on pack opening yet. Only have 8. We'll come back to that though. I mean, if you are so unsure of your ability to see when it belongs in a deck that you want to just play it safe, then sure, Prof. But I think it was correct to run in that deck. But that's why Magic is so interesting. We'll never really know. 17 lands won't tell us, because 17 lands doesn't tell us what cards, what decks a card belongs in. It tells you on average how a card is doing among the players who've submitted their data, you know? Anyway, thanks YouTube friends. Fun start to the week. Some humbling plays to remind me of my humanness, but enough success to keep us profitable. And isn't that just the theme of this stream? Look how many times you can make mistakes in your games of Magic and still come out ahead. Because your opponents make mistakes too, and sometimes your luck is just better than your mistakes are bad, right? All right, we'll take it. Thanks, YouTube friends. We'll catch you the next one.